Hi friends, thank you for joining me again with another quick excerpt from my book, my new book Goodbye Me Hello Me, which is going to be out next month on November the 7th. And you'll be able to find my book at most digital stores and some bookstores. And I wanted to share with you from chapter 7, which talks about taking bite-sized steps and learning to walk again. That's the important thing, learning to walk again one step at a time. Sometimes we're so focused on rushing and running a race and being fast with what we're doing that we don't enjoy the process in between. We don't enjoy the process and the journey. We don't take our time and go at our own pace. And sometimes when we're rushing and pressing ahead and going forward so quickly, it's because we're trying to keep up with the next person. We see them rushing ahead and you say to yourself, well, I'm going to rush as well. I'm going to try and keep up with them. But you can't keep up with somebody that is walking their own path and on their own journey. Like I said in another video, we're all on our own journey. We're all taking our own steps and we're all walking our own paths. And your path is going to look different to somebody else. And someone's journey is going to look different to somebody else. So it's important for you to do you where you're at and the path and the journey that you're embarking on, the path and the journey that you're on. But taking the bite-sized steps that you need and going at the pace that you need for yourself that works for you. May not work for anybody else, but it works for you. So in chapter 7, I talk about learning to walk again, taking one step at a time. Watching a child walk for the first time is such an amazing experience. They first learn to crawl, and then before you know it, they're walking. The child does stumble, of course, in between. However, they grow stronger and sturdier on their legs. That is the process of life that most children will go through. As a parent or a caregiver, when we marvel and look at them, all we see is what they are now, which is walking. We sometimes tend to forget the process of how they got there to that point and what it took because we are just so glad they're walking. It is where most choose to focus their attention, isn't it? On the end destination rather than on the journey itself to get there. People often see us when we have made it or when we are at the top of our game, so to speak, and our peak. However, they do not know and see our humble beginnings, where we came from, what it took for us to arrive at this point, and the process in between. Just like a toddler learning to walk, we too are learning to walk, learning to place one foot in front of the other, and to hold our balance so we do not fall or stumble. However, there will be times, just like with a toddler, that we will fall and stumble, and that is okay. I really wanted to include this include this part in this book, because I found myself doing that, and I'm sure you have found yourself doing that as well, where we're trying to run before we can walk. And when you understand the process of how a child learn how to walk, they don't start by running, because we know they'll fall and stumble, but they learn to walk by placing one step in front of the other, going slowly, going at their pace. And then once they build up strength and stamina and they become strong on their legs, then they master the next step, which is running. And that's what we need to do in our lives, that we need to be able to take it one step at a time. And like I said before, your step is going to look different from somebody else's step. But it's the step that you need to take that is necessary for you, that's going to help you and propel you to get to your next chapter, to get into your next season and what you're looking to create in your life and for your life. And so it is really important to understand that when you're doing something in life, don't feel like you have to rush or try to keep up with somebody and go at their own pace, but to go at your own pace, even when it comes to learning about yourself and discovering about yourself. You know, life, I say that when it comes to life, it's going to be, you're always going to be learning. You know, you're always going to be evolving. You're always going to be going through lessons. but it's what you do with those lessons, it's what you take from those lessons, and how those lessons is going to help and shape you going forward, so you don't continue to make the same mistakes, or you don't continue to find yourself at the same place where you were before, where you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or find yourself at the place where you're just constantly going round and round that same mountain. Because how boring is that? You want to be able to make progress and to take what you need so you can walk out of where you are into your next season and experience the goodness and the greatness, the great opportunities, the divine connections and everything that's going to come, because you're open to it. And because you've healed yourself on so many levels by taking in the lessons that you need and taking what you need for yourself, so you can continue to embark on the journey that you're on. So don't feel you have to rush. Don't feel you have to go fast. But take each step as it time and go at your pace. Learn to walk first before you run. Because you don't want to do any damage to yourself. You don't want to do any damage to your body. You want to be able to take your time. And by doing that, you get to appreciate more your views, your landscapes. You get to appreciate more what is happening around you, which you can't do if you're speeding so fast that you get to miss the beauty of what is around you. You get to miss beauty of the beauty that you find in people, in relationships, in connections, in opportunities. You don't want to miss all of that because you're just speeding so fast. You want to be able to go at your pace, and to go at a pace that is comfortable to you. So I hope you have enjoyed this quick excerpt from the book. And, just to encourage you again, do you, be you. That is what I have learned so much about myself not only when I was writing this book, but just the season that I found myself in, because I lost who I was. And I was trying to get back to that place of knowing and understanding who I was and appreciating who I was, loving myself and valuing myself, because I had lost that. And I don't want that to be the case for you. So be encouraged, and I hope this has encouraged you more to go and to purchase your copy. Like I said, it will be out and released on November the 7th. And I would like to hear your thoughts about how you found the book, your feedback, your reviews when the book comes out. But also, even with this video, it'd be nice to hear your thoughts about where you are now and what's happening with you. And if there's any pointers or tips or lessons that you've learned from this, or something that you may want to share with somebody else. So thank you for joining me, and I will catch you next time with a quick excerpt from my new book, Goodbye Me, Hello Me, which will be out next month, November the 7th. Bye-bye.